Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. In this video I will share with you the complete build guide of the new 5-star Electro unit, Ineffa. Ineffa is a 5-star Electro character, who uses a polearm, and plays best as a sub-DPS. Her main role is to trigger a special reaction called Lunar-Charged, which is a stronger version of Electro-Charged, that only activates when she's on the team. Her elemental skill also gives her a shield, and its strength increases based on her attack. If you are one of those who want Ineffa in their party, here are the materials that you need to gather for her. For Ineffa's Ascension materials, first you need to farm glowing hornshroom, the local specialities of Nadalin. There are a total of 72 glowing hornshroom available in Nadalin, and you need to collect 168 of them to level up Ineffa to 90. You can also collect all the glowing hornshroom by using the new collection tab. Just click on it, and the flowers will appear on your map. Secret Source Airflow Accumulator dropped by the new boss, Secret Source Automaton Overseer device. Defeat the boss and collect 46 of these drops. For her mobs drops, you have to find tribal warriors all around Nadalin. Defeat them all and collect 36 of Sentry's Wooden Whistle, 96 of Warrior's Metal Whistle, and 129 Saurian Crowned Warrior's Golden Whistle. For Electro Stones, collect 1 small, 9 medium, 9 large, and 6 extra large stones. You can always change the Electro Stones from other elemental stones by using Dust of Azoth. To get Dust of Azoth from Paimon's Bargains, you need to collect Masterless Stardust. In exchange for 5 Stardust you will get 10 Dust of Azoth. For leveling up her talents to 90, you need to farm Conflict Series from Blazing Ruins domain at Nadalin on Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Collect 9 of brown books, 63 of silver books and 114 of the golden books. And finally for her boss drops, you need to defeat Lord of Eroded Primal Fire at Nadalin and collect 18 of Eroded Sunfire. The domain of this boss won't be available until you complete the Nadalin Archon quest, but you can access this boss easily without doing the quest. Open your Adventurer Handbook and go to the Trounce domain tab. Scroll and start the challenge to collect the material. You can also convert the drops by using the Dream Solvent. When choosing a weapon for Ineffa, your main goal is to increase her overall damage, and help her trigger Lunar-Charged reactions more effectively. Since she scales well with attack, crit rate, crit damage, and also benefits from some elemental mastery, the best weapons for her are those that offer these stats. This is especially important if you're aiming to boost her personal damage, and make her Lunar-Charged reactions hit even harder in combat. Her best in slot weapon is her signature polearm, Fractured Halo. This weapon is designed specifically for Ineffa's kit. It increases both her attack and crit damage, making it the most effective option for maximizing her damage output in any team that relies on fast and consistent reactions. If you don't want to pull Fractured Halo, don't worry. There are several other strong 5-star alternatives that work very well. Staff of the Scarlet Sands gives crit rate, and converts elemental mastery into extra attack, which helps both her personal damage and reaction power. Symphonist of Sense offers a good balance of stats and buffs that complement her sub-DPS role. Lumidu's Elegy boosts attack and reaction potential, making it a solid pick if you want more elemental synergy. Calamity Queller gives a huge attack bonus, which strengthens both her normal damage and the shield from her elemental skill. If you don't have access to 5-star weapons, there are still great 4-star options available. Battle of the Fjords is great in multi-element teams and increases crit rate, which helps her deal more consistent damage. Deathmatch gives both crit rate and a useful attack boost, making it a reliable pick in most teams. Missive Windspear is a standout F2P weapon. It gives a mix of attack and elemental mastery, both of which directly benefit her damage and reactions, making it one of the best budget-friendly choices for Ineffa. No matter which weapon you choose, try to match it with good artifacts and team setups to bring out the best in Ineffa's sub-DPS potential. Ineffa has several strong artifact options that help boost her damage and reaction potential. While she doesn't have a tailor-made set just yet, there are some great choices you can use right now to bring out her full power. The top-performing set at the moment is 4-piece Gilded Dreams. It's great for reaction-based characters like Ineffa, giving her a big boost in elemental mastery and attack percent after interacting with different elements on the field. This works especially well in teams that constantly trigger Lunar-Charged reactions. Right behind that is 4-piece Thundering Fury, which is also a solid pick. This set increases electro reaction damage and reduces the cooldown of her elemental skill, allowing her to use her abilities more frequently and trigger more reactions. For a more supportive build, you can use 4-piece Tenacity of the Millilith. This set boosts her shield strength and gives an attack buff to the entire party when she hits enemies with her skill. While it doesn't increase her personal damage as much, it makes her more useful to the team overall. If you're still farming, or don't have a full set yet, mixing 2-piece Gladiator's Finale with 2-piece Gilded Dreams gives you a reliable mix of attack percent and elemental mastery, which are the two most important stats for Ineffa's damage and reaction scaling. New players can also use 4-piece Instructor as a temporary option. It's easy to get and boosts elemental mastery for the entire team when Ineffa triggers a reaction, helping you get more value from her even with lower tier artifacts. To get the most out of Ineffa's damage potential, your first goal should be reaching 2000 plus attack. After that point, stacking more attack gives less value, so it's better to shift focus elsewhere. Once you're at the required attack threshold, start investing in crit rate, crit damage, and elemental mastery. These 3 stats will greatly improve the strength and consistency of her Lunar-Charged reactions, which are the core of her damage output. Interestingly, Lunar-Charged doesn't benefit much from electro damage bonus, so you don't need to use an electro goblet. Instead, go for either an attack percent goblet to keep her stats balanced, or an elemental mastery goblet if you're focusing more on reaction damage. You can also build some energy recharge to help her use her elemental burst more often, but her burst isn't the centerpiece of her kit, so it's optional. Think of it as a nice bonus, not a priority. Ineffa gets most of her value from her elemental skill, so that should be your top priority when leveling her talents. It's the core of her kit and plays a big role in triggering Lunar-Charged reactions consistently. If you also want to boost the damage of her elemental burst, feel free to level it. It's helpful but not essential to her main playstyle. You can safely ignore her normal attack, since she rarely uses it in combat and it doesn't contribute to her damage or reactions. Ineffa's main mechanic, Lunar-Charged, works similarly to Electro-Charged but with one major difference: it can crit. This means both the Electro and Hydro characters involved in creating the reaction contribute to its damage. Because of that, it's important to pair Ineffa with teammates who can apply these elements quickly and reliably, while also bringing their own personal damage or crit scaling to the team. Some of Ineffa's strongest teams revolve around Hydro or Electro DPS units, like Neuvillette and Chloriand. These characters can trigger consistent elemental reactions on field, allowing Ineffa's Lunar-Charged damage to activate regularly from off-field. Neuvillette is especially powerful in this setup, as his Hydro application pairs perfectly with Ineffa, and when supported by characters like Furina and Kazuha or Shillanen, the team becomes incredibly well-rounded and high damage. Chloriand teams operate a bit differently, using her Electro focus to maintain constant elemental application, while Hydro supports like Yellen or Furina help complete the reaction loop. In both team styles, Kazuha boosts reaction damage through Swirl, while Shillanen provides healing if needed. Ineffa also fits well in teams that rely on elemental spread and Swirl, such as those using Iffa or Mizuki as main drivers. These characters help spread Electro and Hydro across multiple enemies, allowing Ineffa's reaction damage to hit multiple targets efficiently. Furina remains a staple here too, offering both damage and buffs, while other flexible options like Yellen, Fischl, and Auroran can slot in, based on what the team needs more, be it Electro particles, Hydro uptime, or extra off-field damage. Let's jump into the action and see just how powerful Lunar-Charged can really be. Alright, so that's everything about Ineffa's build guide and gameplay. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Let me know about your thoughts on Ineffa and I'll catch you guys in the next one.